This is John for the patch. Today I have the pleasure of being on the beat with Sean Engelbreit of Very Powerful Dice. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Today we're going to talk about Fan Expo. We're going to talk about what you're doing at Fan Expo. Let's get a little background though. What exactly do you do? I know you're a creator. What do you create?
Yes. So I create and sell handmade resin dice for games like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Yahtzee, Bunko, like basically anything you can use dice for.
And how did you get into that? I mean, it's kind of a niche field.
Yeah. Well, I started playing D&D, I want to say in about 2017. So naturally, D&D was like a gateway drug for dice making. I started following some dice makers online, and I thought I can do that. I can make that for me and my friends, not understanding that it is so complicated. But then I just fell down a rabbit hole, and as soon as I started making, I just couldn't stop, and then Very Powerful Dice was born.
So this might be a dumb question, but I don't know a whole lot about Dungeons and Dragons. I know a little bit about
Yeah.
dice. Why do we need special dice? What's the difference between a regular pair of dice and what you do?
So the standard D&D set has 7 dice altogether, with a variety of sides, all the way from a 4-sided dice up to a 20-sided dice. And each do a different thing essentially for the game. Your D20, determines whether or not you can stab someone or you can, cast a spell or whatever. Whereas the D4 might be the damage that a dagger can deal, essentially. So they all just do a variety of different things when you're in the game.
But why do we need special dice? So aren't there regular dice so you can just get like generic dice?
Yes, yes. You can go to pretty much any game store, bookstore, get a $10 manufactured set, or you can get some really cool specialty ones that take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and look incredible. I've had dice over the years that were manufactured that the numbers faded really quickly. They just didn't hold up, they chipped. Whereas the resin that I use is a really solid, sturdy resin that doesn't chip as much, and I can create fantastic designs. So if you want something cool to look at to match your character, to match your vibes, to match your campaign, you can go support a local dice maker.
So let me ask you this then. Could dice be actually a piece of memorabilia? Could it be a collector's item that
Mhm.
people don't actually use, but these are cool. This is my logo or this is my whatever.
Oh, totally. There are some really cool designs online. There's with like landscapes inside, snake skin. I mean, you name it, you can put it in dice. Baby teeth, if you want to. Really, anything you can put in there to really make it a one of a kind piece that you can keep on your mantle or you can use. I consider myself a functional artist because I want my dice to be used. But hey, if you'd rather just look at them and think they're pretty, I'm cool with that too.
So if I came to you and wanted a pair of dice, like obviously again, Dungeons and Dragons, you said there's several different dice. Something like Yahtzee, I think there's 5 regular dice.
Mhm.
Other games, there's just 2 regular dice. I can come to you and say I need 2 dice or 2 die, I guess is proper. But I want Coca-Cola on them, and you could do something like that, like your own
Yeah,
version, obviously.
Mhm. Yeah, completely doable. 100%. I'm happy to work with clients and figure out, do you want mini Coke bottles in there? Do you want the Coke label in there? It's all very, very doable.
So you could actually make like the inside. You could actually do like miniature Coke bottles inside the dice without
Mhm.
messing up the integrity of the die.
Yeah, especially if they're made out of resin, because resin and resin isn't going to throw them out of balance. So if I can get my hands on a tiny Coke bottle, like miniature, I can make a silicone mold from that. I can pour resin into that, and that way it won't throw the dice out of balance at all.
Oh, very cool, very cool. So now you're going to be at Fan Expo August 10th through the 13th.
Yes.
Tell us about. Obviously, I know you're going to have your dice there. Tell us about what people could expect from your booth.
So this year, I'm actually bringing out a few new things besides what I typically have, which is 7-piece dice sets, 8-piece dice sets. I offer large 35 millimeter D20s, basically all the fixins. But this year, I'm going to have a really huge gumball machine filled with handmade D20s. It fits about 400, so I'm working diligently to fill that up. I'm going to be bringing out new necklaces, new earrings. So if maybe you're not a player, but you still want to, affiliate yourself with the game, you have that option.
So like dice accessories, so to speak, or
Yes.
jewelry,
Yeah,
or
necklaces. Yeah, necklaces, earrings, so a couple other options. Maybe you're not in a campaign, your campaign's been paused, you don't need new dice, but you can still, rep the game.
was there any request that was the most challenging for you?
I honestly haven't had anything too crazy. I've had some pretty easy Zelda ones. People wanted to see some Geo dice, so that was a really cool thing. I had to drill into my masters and kind of create this really cool cavernous look to make geode ones. But no, I haven't had honestly anything too crazy just yet. But I'm sure that something crazy will come down the pipeline.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that just says that you're on top of your game and you're able to hit every request.
I try to. I definitely try to.
So at Fan Expo, other than your booth and
Mhm.
trying to promote your own stuff, is there anything in particular you're interested in seeing at Fan Expo?
I mean, Steve from Blue's Clues is going to be there, which I think is incredible. I will be first in line to meet Steve. Apart from that, just the vibes at Fan Expo and pretty much any Comic Con are unmatched. Getting to talk directly to my customers, getting to talk to other vendors is some of my favorite things to do at Fan Expo. Just building connections, honestly. But Steve from Blue's Clues is number one, I have to say.
So you're gonna do you have any special dice for him?
Maybe. I mean, I could make them maybe a Blue's Clues set. Now you're making me think. Yeah, I could do that. I could make that happen. Give them a little, put the little blue paw print on there, do the fun stuff. Now you gave me extra work, but I think that'll be great.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give people extra work. Exactly.
Right?
So, other than the Fan Expo, are you working on any particular projects in the upcoming future?
So I do local brewery shows, at least a few times a month. So I'm constantly just staying prepped for those. Those are really fun. I'm in an alliance called the Streets Arts Alliance. He's actually the curator is another vendor and stuff. But he's incredible and we do shows all the time. So I'm always prepping for those. Otherwise I will be at GaryCon next year, which is really fun. It'll be my first GaryCon. I'm excited for the Bazaar Bazaar. If you've heard of that, it's in Valparaiso. I'm doing that this year, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, just staying out and about and trying to vend as much as I can in person for as long as I can.
Well, before I let you go and before we see you in person, tell everybody where they can
Yeah,
find out more information about you, your products.
yeah. So I am across the board at Very Powerful Dice on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. You can find my shop Etsy.com/Very Powerful Dice. But yeah, basically, if you just look up Very Powerful Dice, you will find me on everything.
And when they get to Fan Expo, August 10th to the 13th, if they can't
Yes.
find you, they should just look under Very Powerful Dice, or will it be under your name?
It'll be under Very Powerful Dice. I do also, if you follow me on especially Instagram, I do post the map. I'll post where I'm at. I'm actually in a great spot near right where you go in for the photo op and the bathroom. So
Oh,
you'll
busy.
see me right there.
Perfect area.
Yeah, it's
I
a
will
busy
see it.
spot.
Tony and I are covering it for a bunch of different websites, including thebadge.com.
Yes.
And we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I checked out your website. I'm actually, during this interview, there's going to be a bunch of your products popping up a little bit so people can get a glimpse of it. But you got some really cool
Perfect.
stuff there, some really neat stuff. And
Thank you. Thank you.
I look forward to seeing the whole display at Fan Expo. It's going to be very cool. I appreciate your time, and I encourage everybody to check out your stuff online. And more importantly, go to Fan Expo, check this guy out in person because he's got some really, really cool stuff. John, thank you for your time, buddy, and I will see you at Fan Expo.
Yes. Thank you. I will see you there.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.